This is funny here. Kind of ties into what I was saying. All right, this dude says being black and healthy is more rebellious than being rich. Why? Because in our community, wealth gets celebrated, but health gets ignored. And without health, wealth means nothing. I've said this before, man. I've said this time and time again in the black community. Um, yeah, I've said this time and time again, man. In the black community, we prioritize money over health. You know, we will kill ourselves into the ground trying to make some money, even at the expense of our health. You know, I think we had the numbers to show for many black corporate executives that are at high positions, and a lot of them are overweight, and that's not by accident. Um, that lifestyle will catch up to you because 9 times out of 10, when you start making more money, your taste buds change as well. Your taste changes, your lifestyle changes, so that means you're gonna start eating out more. You're gonna start prioritizing traveling more, and these are all great things, right? No one's saying don't do these things, but when someone has something for the first time that they never had, that they always wanted, 99.9% of the time you're going to abuse it, you know? You're going to overdo it. And I always say that when you travel, when you have a certain lifestyle, it's very counterproductive to your health. It's very counterproductive to losing weight or staying in shape, you know? Because what happens when you travel? You're drinking more, you're eating more. What happens when you make more money? You get lazier because of said lifestyle, right? So because you're lazier, well, there's no incentive to work out or go to the gym. Or you might just be working more so you can keep affording these lifestyles. So the gym is not going to be the main priority. Look at all these CEOs at these top level Fortune 500 companies, man. They're all in shape. They're all fit. That's because they prioritize their health. They understand the importance of health. Even the women CEOs, they're taking testosterone, you know, they're taking peptides, they're taking small amounts of HGH. They're on heavy PEDs because they understand the importance of a healthy lifestyle, even as you make more money. As they make more money, they reinvest it back into their health because they want to have the energy to make more money and close more deals and do more. You know, if you're in shape, if you're healthier, you can afford to do more because you have the energy to. You can only work for so long, man, before you burn out. And anybody can burn out, right? It doesn't matter how healthy you are. It doesn't matter how in shape you are. Anybody can burn out. But the only difference is if you're in shape, the person that's not in shape is going to burn out a lot faster. So that's why I say, as you make more money, you need to reinvest that money back into your health because now you have more access to certain things. You have access to personal trainers, quality personal trainers, not just some, BS trainer at 24-hour fitness. I'm not knocking them, but let's be honest here. You can afford the guys that charge 150 to 200 bucks a session now and up, and they bring a premium service because a lot of times they only work with a small amount of people, and that's for a reason. You know, you can afford to attend more classes. You can afford to attend, different country clubs. Like you can just put yourself in positions where you're going to be exposed to more people that take their health serious. You can work out now at the higher end gyms. You can work out at the Lifetime Fitnesses and these higher independent gyms, you know, but you can't do that if you're working 12 hours a day, you still eat like shit, you don't work out, it's going to be hard to reinvest anything back into yourself because you're going to be on a hamster wheel, even though you're making a buck 20 a year, a buck 50 a year. Yeah, you're making great money, but guess what, man? You burnt out. And how long do you think that's going to last before something happens to you? God forbid, but you're putting your risk of something happening to you way higher, as opposed if you just reinvest, the money that you're making, just a small percentage of it back into yourself. No, but you want to use that and you want to go out and buy liabilities, new car, travel, new clothes, food, whatever. That only is a temporary fix to whatever it is, whatever type of, pleasures you might be seeking. You know, Longevity comes in the form of health, man. Never ever forget that.